Good morning. Happy Thanksgiving. Welcome back to my aquarium. This is take two. I apologize to the small handful of people who listened to my previous attempt. I was not happy with it. So we're starting over. I hope you guys are ready for a good Thanksgiving. I slept 12 hours last night. It was lovely. I was tired. I had done a lot of work, so I love sleeping. Anyways, yeah, so I'm feeling good. I hope you guys are doing okay. I know it's Thanksgiving, it's a holiday, it's whatever it is for you. It's different for all of us. But I wanted to share something that I hope will be a small amount of encouragement for anyone who's feeling kind of like isolated. I think would probably be the best way to say it, who feel like I am surrounded by lunatics. I am surrounded by people who can't fathom what's wrong with picking a rapist over a woman. Help, Well, let me share something with you. So this is from a dream I had years and years and years ago. And I've shared it before, so you may have heard it. I don't usually have dreams like this, but this was one I had 3 nights in a row. So, it kind of seemed like it might be worth paying attention to and putting some thought into. So the dream was I was in a world that was very it was being surveilled. It had the feeling of being watched from the sky, like cameras everywhere or drones or something. And they weren't just watching what you did, they were watching what you said. They were watching the way you interacted with people. And it was very difficult simply to exist as a human being without drawing some sort of negative attention towards yourself from the powers that be. And so I was actually moving around because I was looking for a house. What I was really looking for was a place that I could have to hold meetings with other people without this surveillance state watching us. So I had a realtor. She was taking me to different houses. They all had for sale signs out front. One of the features of this world was also, it was very very white. Everything seemed there was very little color there. And what color there was just kind of I don't know, it was just weird. So in these homes, she's showing me these homes, they would have gardens out back. But when I went through the gardens, it was very strange because I didn't recognize any of these plants. I'm a gardener. I actually, I used to read seed catalogs for fun in the winter. Johnny's Seeds. They're great. Burpees makes amazing catalogs. Anyway, I'm not going to get off on that. But I didn't recognize any of the plants. And they looked unnatural. They looked strange to me. And I remember a lot of them were really tall too. And so I just thought that was so strange. And then inside several of the houses, I found a hidden door or a small tucked away door. And when I went through it, it took me to a large underground cavern that was filled with people. I mean, when I say large, I'm saying I couldn't see the end of it. It just, I knew I was just seeing a small fraction of what there was. And it was the total opposite of what was going on the surface. There were people everywhere. There were families and groups and couples, and people were doing everything. It reminded me kind of of a mall promenade, one of these really ones that have everything super crowded on a Friday or Saturday night or something. There were people doing music. There were people watching movies, playing video games, playing chess, having conversations, eating, just kids playing, all kinds of stuff going on. And when I walked in, I was greeted, the people who saw me coming in were like, "Oh my gosh, it's you. I'm so glad you're here," And it was it was a total opposite from what was going on the surface. And I was like, look, I have to go back I still have business up on the surface, but I'll be back. And, everybody understood. And so that's what I did. And that was my dream. And I had to really, this is why I had to think and pray on myself. And what I felt like God showed me was that the above ground area was kind of like the world of the church or of religious organizations. And it really is like that. Like you have to think a certain way, you have to believe a certain way, you have to act a certain way, and anything that you step out of line or, even ask questions, you can get yourself in trouble in kind of church land. And then the houses were all for sale because they represented churches, and the churches are for sale. I mean, let's be real. If the whole setup of having a person whose job it is to lead a church who is being paid for it, which is completely understandable. Like, it's real work. I'm not saying it doesn't deserve to be paid for. However, we have a system in which their income and their family's well-being is predicated on them getting the money from the members of the church. And of course, there's usually a small handful of members who donate money to the church, most of the money to the church. Well, so your life and your family's well-being is predicated on not pissing off those people too badly. I think that is a setup for doing, speaking the truth. Probably not. But anyways, then there were the gardens, and the gardens I was shown were the kinds of people that the church tends to produce. They look strange and unnatural to me because rather than being allowed to kind of like grow according to the plan that God has already put into each of us, like literally written into our DNA, the church wants to like nip and tuck and bend and, shape and breed and do all this stuff to get people to be the way they think they should be. And then they put the word of God on it, because it's not possible that your interpretation could be wrong, mere mortal. No, God said it. So anyways, I'm not going to get off on that. But so that's what those gardens were. And then underground, those were where all of the people who took their spirituality underground are there. And the thing is that, yes, there are genuine atheists. There are a lot of agnostics. But I will tell you, one of my traits is I'm one of those, I talk to strangers. I have real conversations with just random people. And from the waitress at the truck stop to the person who's a CEO to, a chef to like just the heavy metal singer, it doesn't matter who they are. Pretty much everyone has a relationship with God, with whatever, they may not call it God, but with whatever it is that is good and true and beyond us. Everyone, like these, I told the story yesterday of one of the weird things that happens in my life. I cannot tell you. Almost everybody has stories like that. They have stories of, I said this prayer to God and then this thing happened. And so I just knew. And these are people who would never set foot in a church. Why would they? Because in the church, they're not going to say, follow God, that thing that, that has changed your life, that thing that let you survive, that thing that brought something good into your world where there had not been before. They're not going to say, follow that. They're going to say, follow us. Well, if you actually know God, why would you follow men? Like, that's, of course you're not. So people have gone underground and they have their own relationships with God. They have their own relationships with spirits, with whatever their concept of how it all works. People, like, there are so many people, many, probably most, nearly all I would say, who have not set foot in a church of their own volition for probably most of their lives, if not longer. And so as we're feeling very alone and we're looking at these people who are just big and loud and we won, we're in charge, we're watching you, we make the rules, I have the power. No, that there is an entire world of people who you don't see, who know God the way that you do, who know that person is an idiot. Okay? So, and now all of a sudden, I just absolutely lost what I was about to say. It'll come back to me. I apologize. It'll be worth it, maybe. So yeah, there are all these, that was the other thing I was going to say. So that was my dream. That was how I came to understand it. And after a while, at one point I came across there's a Mexican proverb and it says, they tried to bury us. They didn't know we were seeds. And I really feel like that's what we're about to witness, is that there are a lot of folks who went underground and they're seeds. And they're, a seed does what a seed does. A seed does what a seed does. It's very, very quiet. You don't see it. It appears to be, you wouldn't even know it was there. But when it starts to grow, when it starts to produce, when it starts to move beyond being a seed, you're going to know it. So I'm looking forward to discovering all the seeds that were planted underground and are ready to start growing under the circumstances we're facing right now. So I think it'll be a major upheaval. I think it will be something good. Anyways, I hope that was at least somewhat encouraging to someone, give you something to think about, and go find the other people who think like you do at whatever gathering you're at. There's somebody there. You're not actually alone. Go find them and talk shit with them. All right? Love y'all. I will talk with you later. Happy Thanksgiving. Bye.